Some of you women playing games with people, trying to. Your words reveal what you are. You can see the low class women versus the high class women by their words, by their belief system, by their just by their who they hang around and what they do, their past, everything about them. Unless they repented and got saved, born again. I'm not talking about fake going to church. I went to church. What's that? What does that mean? You went to church. Who cares? Men are not dumb. Some men are. When you're younger, you are. But as you get older, the older women are not dumb, and the older men are not dumb. Whatever age that is on you. But after you've experienced enough, you really think you got a new game? You really think you got a new game out there? Seriously? I don't care if it's a coven. I don't care if it's a bunch of sisters. I don't care if it's a bunch of people trying to whatever. I don't care what it is. It's already been played. Come up with something new. You can't. The only thing you can do is try to get a man drunk or addicted to some kind of drinking or drug and to make him not see your gaslighting and your games and and if it's a saved man, he's not going to drink. He don't drink and he don't get drunk. So go ahead, go away. You bother me. Just like that cartoon, the tall chicken, and he's got this little bird or something. Go away, you bother me. Get out of my face. I see through you. I see through every one of you. I can see through your narcissism. I can see through your cults. I can see through your covens. I can see through your fake alliances. I can see through all your games. It's fake. Everything is logged. Whatever the plan is logged. It's logged. And you will get caught. Whatever it is. I like to watch those bounty hunter investigations, Because these people, you watch these people, they think they're getting by with it. Well, there's no paper trail. You can't prove it. Somebody ends up in jail and throws the other one under the bus. And then it's in their phone, their text, they reveal their text. It's a trip. Let me put this, while this guy's got this noise going, let me put this on pause. See, what you're used to is lost people. You're used to people who are just so caught up in the world, the flesh, pride life, drunks, drug heads, and all that. You can't understand how the saved person can escape your game and your trick and your flattery and your BS. Oh, he's naive. He's saved. No, we're the wise ones. You're naive because you think you got something. Jezebel's so stupid it ain't even funny. Delilah's so stupid it ain't even funny. The only reason she got Samson because it was scripted, and that was written for our admonition, the saved men. It was written for a reason. And I got saved women that I talked to that warned me about situations. They'll email me. Because there's always a little bird chirping somewhere, revealing the truth about everything. I mean, what? Look at her. She ain't wearing hardly nothing, so she's probably Jezebel. And she thinks, oh, if I go in here, I'll find me a man, and I thought she was going to Planet Fitness, but they'll go in this Planet Fitness, and well, if I find me a man, it all smells the same, it all tastes the same, it all feels the same. It's like eating chicken. Bitches just to be vulgar about it. You want to be vulgar? You got vulgar terminology, and you think that's cool? The saved men used to be unsaved. They've heard it all. They've said vulgar stuff. You think you can shock somebody and put some kind of neuro-linguistic programming to try to pull them into some trick. So y'all don't understand. A saved person wants to do God's will. And he has the Holy Spirit and he has the power to do God's will. He can resist any temptation unless he chooses not to. So there's no game that he can't resist if he's saved. And so you can take one of these unsaved guys over here who's uneducated and stupid and has no Bible in him, and you can get him drunk and pull him into your little coven, whatever you call it, your little red light district. Fake reality. Stupid. I mean, I've actually seen it in the church. You got this new believer come in, namely myself, and then you got all these young women trying to fight over him, and then the mama. So you say, okay, yeah, she's saved. Let me marry her. Fun to find out she wasn't even saved. She said she's never been a sinner. The Bible says God didn't come for the righteous, but for sinners. She was never a sinner. Her mom. They had to put on this big. They had this big picture that they wanted to paint so the whole city could see this picture of them that was fake. But the reason they wanted that image, see, it's a fake reality. It's a fake reality. I want you to understand, if there's a queen bee in that house running the man, she's got a bunch of little flying monkeys to create a fake reality so she can keep her little queen beehive together. I want you to understand, if she's usurping the man, she has to do it with a queen bee image that's fake. And she has to have a bunch of Delilahs to build up that fake reality. And I've seen it where the mama will teach the children how to be prostitutes. They might not be training them exactly saying that, but in a way they're training them that way, and they end up that way. They eventually end up that way. Why? Why would a mama try to train her little innocent girl to be a prostitute? Why would she do something that insane? The love of money is the root of all evil. I didn't say the love of money. I didn't say money. I said the love of money is the root of all evil. Some people are so sick that they willing to let their child be used as a pawn so that they can have some fake reality with this situation over here, whatever's going on over here. You see the Diddy stuff on, I ain't even watched it. I really don't care, because it's not just going on there, it's going on in the churches. It's going on in the jobs. It's going on in families. It's going on under a man's nose, but he's so drunk, he goes home and he gets drunk at 5 o'clock. I picked up the guy on the guy's day off. He's just drunk all day. Don't he have a goal? What woman or situation destroyed his manhood? Do you really think it's manly to go, my day off, I'm going to get me a 6-pack and I'm going to get drunk? That's not a man. That's a kid. That's a child. And the only way he can do it is his mama's enabling him, or his wife, Queen Bee's enabling. You think that's a man? That's a child. I'm going to go get drunk. I worked all week. So you let your society programming you to think that getting drunk is cool. Stupid. You're an idiot. You're running on a program. You don't follow God. You follow your wife. You follow your emotions. You don't follow what God says. You're following your stupid emotions. stupid people. And they really believe they can convince you that they are on your team. And they're not. You see through it. But they think that they really think they are such great master manipulators that you can't see through it. One time I did marry a woman, and I went to the pastor. I said, what do you think's going on? He said, she's a master manipulator. You need to just cut it off. I mean, I'm talking about married. You need to cut it off. Period. What about the Bible about the marriage? There ain't no marriage. He wouldn't say it in the pulpit. And a lot of stuff the men talk about, we won't say it in the pulpit. We won't say it in your face, because we know that you married a fake person who's lost and hell-bound, and they're doing something. Yeah, we could hire a private investigator, but we already know. We already know. This is a Gentile nation. If your family's a bunch of drunks and everything, that's probably 90% chance that's what you are. If you've been trained to be a low-class woman, that's all you're ever going to be, most likely, unless you really get serious and renew your mind. But most people don't. Sorry. It is what it is. Take it or leave it. Your words reveal your heart. Your actions reveal your heart. When I have pause, I'm thinking, should I say this? Should I say the next thing I want to say? Should I say what I want to say? Or 99% of the people going to walk away because they're guilty? I promise you, the saved men I know, and they're married, they're not talking to no other woman. But most of the so-called saved women, they always got this guy on the side somewhere for their emotional. And they think, oh, I'm not cheating. But you're not telling your husband, but you have this emotional connection with this person over here. Well, it's just emotional. And there's a saved woman online. She knows I'm telling the truth, because she taught me this stuff. They don't even love their children. She taught me. I was like, I was stumbling. I said, I think you're right. I know you're right, because I've seen it. It all makes sense. They don't even love their children. They use their children as pawns to get pity and to get attention and to draw some and try to get the man to fall in love with the children so they can hook that man. And then they hook that man, and then they just going after another one. In the church. In the church. So after I started thinking about it, I thought, okay, why is it so rampant? And because it's rampant. I had a pastor, he's dead now, church is gone, so I can talk about it. I was over there talking to him one day. I said, what's really going on in this place? He said 90% of the women in my church, and he might have said 95%, they're all on some kind of Xanax or Valium or drug or something. He said every single one of them. There might be a few. And I started, and he told me some other stuff. And I started, here's what he told me. He said, I was preaching one day. And after church, one of the members, she said, I need to talk to you. I'm having a problem with my marriage or something. He said, okay. So she came over there and talked and tried to, when he was younger when this happened. So she was trying to get him into bed, He said, nah, I thought you were needing counseling. You need to go on. And then he said a week later, his sister tried to do it. Her sister tried. A week later, He said her sister tried to do it. She couldn't do it. So they said, okay, let's send my sister. And I got 1,000 more stories that I've talked to pastors and preachers and stories that I've read. And I promise you, Eve is the flesh side of Adam. What is the flesh? The flesh is evil. There's a website online. It's a black preacher. His name's Bond. He said the woman's battle is with the devil. She has to conquer the devil. The man's battle is with the woman. He has to conquer the woman. In other words, the devil's trying to usurp Eve. Eve is trying to usurp the man. So the battle, man knows the word of God. He knows. So how would the devil sin? So the devil's trying to take over Eve. It's no different than Genesis 3 happening right now, right across the street. I see it over there. And these women, they always end up by themselves. They always end up with about 10 or 20 cats, and they're all because they destroyed their own soul. Instead of submitting to a godly man, a saved man, they think they can go over there. And in about a month or two ago, I said, I forgot what my ex-wife looked like. And then I get this notification in Instagram, shows a picture of what it looks like her living at some older lady's house, probably because she probably got kicked out. This other man probably kicked her out too. Because the master manipulating games that they play, it always reverts back onto them, and men don't put up with it. The only men they're going to put up with it are the ones who've been demasculated, or the ones who are drunk or drugs or sick or something. So what they're going to try to do is poison a person, but they don't want to kill him. They just want to poison him so he's out of commission. So he needs her help. And so she's trying to get his Social Security, get his 401k, get his retirement, get his property and all that. It's the same game, people. I've seen it 1,000 times. The man that lived there a long time ago, I think his name was Cecil and his wife was named Clara. His first wife, who loved him, although he was cheating on her he ran a laundromat. He was proud of the fact that he cheated on her while he was running the laundromat. I thought, man, you're a deacon? What's wrong with you? But I listened to his story. I thought, you're sick. He's telling about how he cheated on his woman. I thought, why are you a deacon? Oh, because you got $1 million in the bank. That's why you're a deacon. Which tells you churches are about money, but they didn't really test him and try his spirit. He's proud of cheating on his wife. Then she died. Claire was there. She owned that house. He married Clara. He was giving her $600. Back then, he was giving her $600 a month or something, which she was giving to her son and her daughter or whatever, because the house was paid for. He paid her house off, giving her $600 a month. And he would go down to the lake, and he finally said, I got to cut this 600 down to 300. She threw a fit, went crazy, and that's something. He said, I can cut it down to 0, but he was older, retired. He moved back because of her throwing a fit. Anyway, his $1 million house down there at the lake, he had people coming around him, not because they liked him, but they wanted his money, right? Clara, her son, her daughter, neighbors, people around, people from church, they all wanted to be a part of his world. And then when he finally cut her off, all Hades broke loose. Not too long after that, she got sick and died. And a month or two later, he got sick and died. Right there at that house. I watched the whole thing. And then when my wife was living here, I thought, what is going on? She's playing all these drama games. And she would go over there and cry and lie through her teeth, Claire. And then she'd go back to Florida or whatever. And so one time, I knew something was going on. So then one time I got a piece of a letter and had Claire's name on it. Why? Claire's right there. Why would she send me a letter? Had my wife's name on it. I opened it up and read it. I don't know if it had my name or wife's name or what, but I opened it and I thought, what is this? In the letter, I said, this proves what you are, Claire. I actually walked over and told her. I said, see this letter? This proves you've been a schemer, manipulator the whole time. You got caught. God caught you, Clara. Let me have that. Let me have that. No, I'm keeping it. No, I'm keeping it. God caught you in your little stupid game, whatever game y'all had planned, whatever scheme. It didn't work out like you thought it did. Because God always knocks back the liars and the demons and the manipulators. Master manipulators, 1313. Mockingbird Lane. Master manipulator, the letter M, 1313. Mockingbird Lane. So they're telling you, oh, I love you. You're the greatest. You're my soulmate. But the whole time it's a mockery. It's flat out stupidity. So let me tell you this. Anybody who out there think they're fooling me, I've seen every game. I've seen every game. Go away. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. I'm not going to eat your food. I'm not going to let you cross my threshold. I'm not going to let you in my world. Go away. If my wife's mom was teaching her to be a master manipulator, and this one over here, and who had a deacon husband, they were fighting like cats and dogs, but they were deacons in the church, and she was master manipulating him. He was waking up, seeing what was going on, but he was cheating on his first wife, and you reap what you sow. So he deserved. And one time I was sitting on the deck, and she was older than me, and she was flirting. I said, I don't think so, Claire. I don't think so. And it's like, come on. I'm telling you real life stories. I could tell you 1,000 more. And I'm sitting back thinking, what's wrong with these people? Don't they have any kind of normalcy? But they put on, they go to church and they put on like, oh, look at me. My husband's a millionaire and we're happy. But when they come on, you see him on the porch all the time and she's back there and you can hear them hollering and screaming at each other. She stays for the money. He stays because he had a health issue, I think. And when he finally said, I'm not even staying, he put all the stuff in his son's name. And she went berserko land. She became berserko land. Take it, leave it, like it, lump it, whatever. I know what's going on in this reality, especially a Gentile nation. And I don't care if they are pastors. I don't care if they're deacons. Most of the time, they're in their house fighting like cats and dogs, but they put on the smile when you knock on the door, hey, how you doing? But they are miserable. And most of them are drinking because they got this legalism that they got to stay with this woman for some legalistic theory, but it's sick. You hate your partner and you're fighting each other every day, but the legalism keeps you in the same house. You're losing your peace and the stress is killing you. You're getting cancer, you're getting diabetes, you're getting all that. The stress is killing you, but you're staying in it for money, or a roof over your head, outward show image. Oh, I got to look good. They're dead. They're both dead, so it don't matter. I wouldn't have talked about this if they were still alive. They're dead. They died. He cheated on his wife. He made $1 million at the laundromat. She died because he was cheating on her. Probably that's judgment of God. He's a deacon right up the street here. They walk to church every Sunday. And he married her, and she married because she just wanted that money and that lake house. He finally gave the lake house to his son, And she was so mad, she was going to kick him out, all kinds of insanity. And it's like, I didn't even want to be, how did I even know that stuff? Because the wife over here was over there in the middle of all that because she was trying to get her foot in the door to get some of that lake house money. And it's like, really? You got to go, woman. I ain't dealing with that drama. And after she's gone, they still think I'm their friend. I don't want to be the friends of a deacon who's proud that he was cheating on his wife. And he don't even, one time he was sitting on the porch. I was over to talk to him. I said something about the Bible. He said, the Bible's not for today. Because I think I said, well, the wives are supposed to submit to the husband. Well, the Bible's not for today. It's a different time. And you're a deacon? You're a deacon? See how when you get these data points, you start to cut people off? Because they're insane. Why was he a deacon up here? Because he had $1 million in the bank or whatever, maybe more. Because he sold his laundromat or something. Why was he a deacon? Why did this independent Baptist up here allow him to be a deacon when his heart was totally corrupt? Proud that he cheated on he thought, oh yeah, I had it going on over here. She died. He reaped what he sowed. Then he married Claire, the greediest person I've ever met in my entire life. And so God paid him back, right? That Jezebel spirit in him or whatever, he got paid back. And he's dead. She's dead. They were miserable. They lived together for 10, 15, 20 years. Miserable. Lies. Probably cheating even at their age. It was just ridiculous. It's insane. And you think I don't know what's going on around me. Books is naive. No, I saw the Shekinah glory, and I'm no longer part of this game. It's like I'm up here looking down. When I used to believe the lies of people and their image and their outward show and all this, and then I said, Lord, what is going on? What is really going on? So then when the Shekinah glory, he showed me most people are in the flesh mind. They don't even know what the spirit mind means. They don't really have love for people, for souls. They really can't see clearly. They might know some Bible, but they really don't have the spirit mind or the mind of Christ, the oneness with Christ. They haven't experienced that. So they're just fighting. They're comparing themselves with one another and fighting each other. And they'd be sitting over there, why ain't they mowed their yard? They're evil. Well, remember that time you didn't mow your yard when you were in the hospital? They're evil though. They're not in the hospital. Well, they might have something else going on. They're evil. Stupid. And Jesus went to the cross for that much sin and that much ignorance? Yeah. Would you do it? Knowing that what was his name? You got Clara and you got, I don't even remember his name, Cecil. Would you, if you knew that he was, well, I forget his name. I don't even know his name. I think his name was Cecil or something. Would you, if you knew that Cecil, if you were Jesus and you knew that Cecil was cheating on his wife all for 20 years, his first wife that he would live with 20, 30 years at the laundromat, women would come in and he'd go in the back room and cheat on him. He told me that. And I'm sitting here thinking the whole time, you're sick, man, and you're a deacon. So I listened. I played the game. If you were Jesus, would you die for him on the cross? If you wouldn't, but Jesus did. That tells you the love of Christ for people. God sent his son to die for people like her, the greediest woman I ever met in my life, besides my ex-wife, and then him, the most manipulative man probably on the face of the earth, and even became a deacon. Would you die? I wouldn't, but Jesus did. And so that tells you the love of God for the sin of mankind. And you might be thinking, they're evil. Look in the mirror. You might be thinking, your ex-wife is evil. Look in the mirror. You got 3 pointing back. You might be thinking your ex-husband's evil. Look in the mirror. You might even be saying books is evil. Look in the mirror. You got 3 pointing back. But Jesus was righteous and holy and set apart, and he died for everybody. He went to the cross for that kind of story going on over there. And he let them live 60, 70 years old. He let them live till they're about 70, and they still didn't want to admit their stupid thinking, their flesh-minded thinking was abnormal. They were so abnormal, for so long, it became normal. And when you yoked up with somebody like that and you call them out, you open the Bible and say, this kind of talk and thinking doesn't line up. And they run out the back door crying and screaming, you're mean. No, I just read we sit down very nice and calm. And I read the verses, but you got so convicted because you don't think you're a sinner, that this says you're a sinner and what you're doing is wrong, that you have to call somebody else mean and evil and run out and abandon instead of getting saved, you know. Well, I'm saved. No, you ain't. Because your heart ain't right. And you can't even admit you're born in sin. If you're not born in sin, how can you be saved? Jesus didn't come to call the righteous, but the unrighteous. Was Claire and CL, whatever his name was? CL was his name, I think. Was Claire and CL saved? Probably. Were they carnal? 100%. What made them that way? They were born that way, and the news and the media and everything else kept it going. And that pattern, she might have been one of the women that he was cheating with on his first wife at the laundromat. And so if she was one of the ones, they both reaped what they sowed, right? You know, who knows? None of my business. Why do I even know that story? Because I was married to one of them. Why do I know that story? Because I said, we need to separate. They're not right. But they kept back and forth. Why do I even know that story? Because I kept getting drawn in. So I realized I was friends, birds of a feather flock together. I knew she was just like Clara. And I needed to get away from her because she's going to kill me. She's going to stress me out. Just being real, people. Wake up.